you're watching NewsX. My name is Vineet Malhotra. Gujarat University Vice-Chancellor Neerja Gupta said that Namaz could not have been the only provocation for violence against foreign students on Saturday night. Neerja Gupta told the Indian Express that ignorance of local culture by foreign students might have led to this incident. She claimed that foreign students eat non-vegetarian food and the dumping of leftovers can be an issue in Gujarat's vegetarian society. The Vice-Chancellor talked about the need to sensitize and mentor foreign students about local culture and practices. This came after a group of people entered the Gujarat University hostel in Ahmedabad and allegedly attacked foreign students who were offering namaz inside the premises. In this violence, 5 people suffered injuries. One student from Sri Lanka and another from Tajikistan was hospitalized after this brutal attack. Meanwhile, Gujarat police have arrested several people for their alleged role in this attack. A first information report was also registered against some 25 unidentified people for rioting, unlawful assembly, voluntarily causing hurt and damage to property and criminal trespass. Not just this, Kerala Governor Arif Mohammed Khan also reacted to the attack by saying such incidents indicate people of the country are still not fully aware about its traditions and cultural heritage. Khan made the remarks while talking at Central University of Gujarat in Gandhinagar, where he was invited to speak in a national conference on Indian knowledge tradition. Queried on the attack, he said such incidents indicate we are still not fully aware about our own traditions and cultural heritage. However, we will talk about what happened and get a point of view from our guest as well. Joining us on the show is Major Mohammad Ali Shah, Senior Defence Expert. Also with us on the show is Mr. Sumit Peer, Senior Political Analyst. Tahira Hassan, Women's Rights Activist, is also with us on the program. And last but not the least, Shams Ravish Rain, Empower Media Panelist, joins us on the program as well. Tahira ji, what do you make of what happened in Gujarat? I understand there are foreign students who are going to come and study. You know, it's obviously understood that they will have to adapt to the culture that India has, but you cannot expect miracles from these students, right? They also, in fact, would want to continue some semblance of the life that they are used to. So, you know, is it time for a middle ground here?
Yes, of course. I think if there was a problem of the cultural problem, or something, they were dumping the leftover foods, whatever was there. I don't think so. The violence is solution of any problem. And the main thing is this, what I just want to say and put emphasis. The VC must put emphasis on this issue, on this statement, that he must condemn this incident, because he is the head of that organization, university. He must condemn it, instead of him saying because of this violence has happened, because of this issue this has happened, not because of the namaz this has happened. So what if this happened, whatever cause was behind it? But the violence has no place in the university or in the hostel, and it is the responsibility of the hostel administration to provide this foreign student, not only foreign student, each and every student, irrespective to caste, creed and religion, I'm saying, provide them a safety. This is a responsibility of hostel administration. If they have objection, they are leaving the leftovers, why the people did not complain? If they are outsider, how they entered in the hostel premises? And second thing, if they were the students, then why they did not complain to the provost? They did not complain to proctor. What is this? I mean, this is warden. So this is, I mean, this cannot be justified. It's not namaz or whatever eating they are. Nothing to do with this. Violence cannot be justified in the largest democracy. We are the largest democracy. Everybody glorifies, whole world, that we are the largest democracy in the world, that is run by the Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar Constitution. We are not anarchy, that I take the law in my hand or you take the law in your hand if you don't like something. If you don't like, or something is objectionable, we'll go in proper channels, through the proper channels. So why these proper channels were not used? Why they took the law in their hands and started what kind of picture they have projected? So I think the action must be taken, as it has been taken, I think, against those people who have just beaten these students and all. But thing is this, that how they entered in the premises, if they are outsider or if they are a student, why they did not complain to warden and provost and proctor, why not they did not go to the proper channel. Question is this, and again I will say, the VC had to condemn this violence in strong words. Not like that if this happened because of this happened because of that. Whatever happened, violence took place in hostel. That cannot be justified. Violence can never be justified.
Sumit, what do you make of this violence that has transpired, and do you think that this is also going to in fact create some sort of a blot in the immaculate image that India is trying to in fact construct for foreign students to come here and study? Do you think that this is just specific to Gujarat? Because there are other states as well which are very, very sensitive about what they eat, what they don't eat. But Gujarat has, a number of Muslims already. It shouldn't be a shocker for people, to see someone read the Namaz.
Vinny, thanks for having me on your show. In fact, my apologies for joining late. There was some confusion vis-a-vis timing. I apologize for that. The issue here remains that, it's not the question of namaz or it's not the question of food habits. First of all, I strongly oppose any kind of violence in any campus. Secondly, the foreign students cannot be treated like this. So this violence cannot be supported in any way, whatever the reason or whatever the provocation may have been. So it is imperative on the dean to make sure there is no violence in the campus and the students are not manhandled. Having said that, with a caveat like that, now you need to understand why did the violence happen. Obviously, it was not for namaz. Obviously, I believe it is not for the food, which was thrown here and there, non-vegetarian food. What has been the provocations? What were they trying to achieve? Was it engineered? Was it somebody who was trying to provoke the locals? Was it somebody who was done, who wanted to have a ruckus in the campus? It was done because there were a lot of foreign students who wanted a couple of them to be beaten so that a diplomatic row can be started. Now, for the first time, Ministry of External Affairs has got involved. I think the MEA spokesperson has spoken about it, and there's one Tajik student who's hospitalized, which we wish him all the best and speedy recovery because this should have not happened. So what are the designs behind this? It doesn't look to me be a small incident of namaz because there are a lot of Muslims in India who offer namaz. So somebody offering a namaz in center of a campus and all can't have a violent outcome. Right? Somebody throwing the food center or can't have a violent outcome. I believe there is something more than what the eye can see. And as far as namaz or eating habits are concerned, we have to be sensitive to everybody's culture. They have to be sensitive to our culture. We have been sensitive to their culture. Like, for example, I studied in US. I mean, you did your studies in US. We were quite sensitive to their culture because we were studying there. I cannot do a Hanuman Chalisa in the middle of a Cornell University and have doob batti and say, bhai, aaj to vegetarian khana padega. They will not like it. That might be my religion, but they will not like it.
But Sumit, that's absolutely fine. Your argument is absolutely fine. But the premise over here is, that we have a majority of Muslims all over the country. So that is not something new to the people who perhaps attack these students, right?
Correct. That's what the point I'm trying to make. So we need, first of all, this namaz in the central and then showing the food waste is again a highly objectionable system because it provokes people and we should not infringe with the culture of the place. Well, I was giving an example. When I was there, I could not have done this because that is the culture of the place. Now, this was done. What are the designs behind it? Why particular university? Why this particular university was chosen? Who were these people? Who attacked this and how did this happen? I personally believe by doing a namaz in the center of the university or throwing some food waste could not be the sole reason for some 25 people to come in and do this violence. Look, Vineet, for the first time MEA had to clarify. So what are you trying to impact? You are trying to say that India is not safe for foreign students. You are trying to say you should not go to India as foreign students to study. You are talking to say there is racial discrimination against Muslims. Well, that is not the case. There is no racial discrimination against Muslims, Christians, Jews, or anybody in India. So why did this particular incident happen? I would recommend this judge or this investigation should be handed over to CBI. Let CBI find out why all this happened. Because I personally believe offering namaz in the center, though it is wrong, I don't support it. I 101% condemn all kind and type of violence. Throwing food waste, I do not support it. But even amidst that, I do not see such a violent incident could have happened. Who are the people behind it? What is the bigger plan? What is the bigger motive? Why do you want to do it? We have a national election on the cards. What is the image and aspersions you are trying to cast? These are the bigger things which we have to see in the geopolitical scenario. And we need, if this can happen in this university in Gujarat, this can happen to other universities elsewhere in the country as well. So can we say that somebody is offering a prayer or a namaz or a somewhere in there somebody will come and beat him up? No, we don't support that violence. India is not for violence, and let us get to the root cause of it and find the people.
Right.
What is real game plan?
Let me
It's
also
not-
let me also rope in Shams Ravish into this conversation. Shams Ravish, where do you stand on this sensitive matter? In fact, just a few days back, we also saw a constable, kicking and sort of hurting people who were gathered at a particular spot to read namaz. What does this entail, and this sensitivity? How sensitively should it be handled?
Well, I think that what has happened here in Gujarat, wherein it was there in the news that after the namaz, these things happened, and the clip that you're talking about. So I think that everyone needs to understand that yes, if there is a place dedicated for the namaz, someone should not be interrupted. If there is no such a space, and if at a corner someone has created it for a certain time, for like a namaz done only for 10 minutes or so. So if something this sort of of this is happening, wherein a normal life is not being hampered at all. So they should consider that this should be taken into a consideration, that let it happen, let it be, because namaz would be happening just for a month since the Ramzan is going on, and secondly, if you will see in India, every religion has been taking the public space some way or the other, not for the whole time, but yes, if you have this Durga Puja, then you have a park or a road somewhere in the corner you would be doing it, or else if you have that Ganesh Chaturthi, you actually use the road. There is one thing wherein you know that it's called wo jo pani leke jate hai kawad wale. So you have been doing it. So jab aap bhi peacefully kar rahe hain, let the Muslims also do it, but it should be taken care of wherein no public life is been hampered in it. So this thing is wrong where the police was actually kicking them, and then if someone is offering a prayer, 10 minute mein kya hi jata hai, let them do it, let them. Peace should be much more important than any of these wrong activities that they all have been doing. Over to you.
Mohammad Ali Shah, the problem is not only limited to Gujarat. This is something which has become a national issue, only for the reason that this is not the light, this is not the image that India wants to portray. This is not the semblance that foreign students should be reading about before they apply to universities in India. We get concerned, Ali, when Indian students are tortured or killed in US and Canada. In fact, the 9th incident of such a killing took place just a few days ago. What is the recourse?
Most certainly, Vineet. Vineet, firstly, I must commend you for handling the most sensitive and touchy subjects with so much of grace and maturity. I truly commend you for that. Now, having said that, Vineet, I would say I refuse to believe that the violence would have taken place because the students were reading namaz. No, I don't think that's the case, because I will give you an example. Just now, only a while back, I was in the house of a family which is a non-Muslim family. They said themselves, your Ramadan is going on. In case you need to pray, that's one side. We've kept that room clean. You can go and pray over there. That is the kind of affirmative action I have always seen in our country, and our country is not the way some people would like to portray it. Now, having said that, we also, when we are talking about the viral video of this policeman kicking some namazis, well, first let me make it very, very clear. No person in uniform, be it police or be it any force, has the right to go and get physically with anyone, whether you are reading namaz, whether you are praying, or whether you are violating the rule. Whatever, you have no right to touch anybody. You cannot go around kicking people around, especially people who are praying. Well, I admit the fact that that they were reading Namaz on the road. They were not inside the mosque. They should have ideally been inside the mosque. People must have the civic sense also not to disrupt or disturb anyone because religion is a very, very personal matter. The moment you come on the streets and you make it public, be it anything. I am talking about in terms of Kavod Yatra, I'm talking in terms of Juma prayer, Friday prayer, any religion, the moment you don't have civic sense, the moment the main road, because emergency bol ke nahi aayegi, suddenly there would be an ambulance or a fire brigade, be it in 5 minutes also, and situation like that can arise. But no one has a right to go around kicking anyone. Now, also coming back to the Vice-Chancellor of Gujarat University, Mrs. Vice-Chancellor Professor Neerja Gupta. Well, I think the statement she has given is little frivolous to me, it sounds, because rather had she given a mature statement saying that, as Sumit Peet said, this requires an inquiry. Had she said this matter is under inquiry right now, we haven't come to a conclusion why and what has happened, a strict action will be taken. The Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson, Ranveer Jaiswal, he came on X, formerly known as Twitter, and he came and he tweeted that action would be taken against the perpetrators.
Ali, that's a very good point.
Is going to be taken against the... Yes, thank you, Vineet. So the very fact is when she came up with a conclusion that Namaz could not have been the reason, non-veg khare hain, wahan pe as if there's no non-veg.
But that doesn't have any basis in fact, right? There is no inquiry which has come out and said that they were eating non-veg and there was spillover and they perhaps just left the food strewn around for people to discover. That is in fact putting more fuel on fire, Sumit, isn't it?
Correct, Preet. Absolutely right. So that's the reason I would give the statement of the Vice-Chancellor, I would consider it very, very frivolous. It's actually putting more fuel to the fire. If she says that is the reason, no, that cannot be the reason, because again, I gave a very good example. Just sometime back, I was in a house. The family is non-Muslim.
So is this okay? So Sumit, is this part of victim blaming? This happened to you because you were doing this. This is victim blaming. Sumit, please unmute yourself.
Vineet, the point here is very clear. I'm sorry, I was on mute. The point here is very clear. For every activity, there has to be a designated place, there has to be a designated background, there has to be a designated. You have to be sensitive towards the culture. When the things of the cultural boundaries are violated, then the things can go wrong. When you block a road and there's an ambulance and then a police wala will start behaving in his own whims and fancies, I don't support the action, but I don't even support blocking the road. When you have around 4 mosques and 600 meters and all of them are empty, why do you need to block the road? When you want to do a namaz, if you get a designated place and if you take an approval, okay, we're going to do a namaz in this hall, the VC will approve, then nobody will come and touch you in that hall. If there's a food spillover, you need to follow the culture of the place. As we're telling you in Gujarat University, I could not do Hanuman Chalis and the central lawn. Well, nobody will allow me to do that because that is not their culture. I have to be sensitive to the Christian culture and Christian beliefs because that is their land. The point I'm trying to make here is if you are sensitive to the culture and beliefs and we follow the rule of the law, then such things can be avoided. But having said that, I still believe there should be a big investigation or a big time investigation by the CBI to understand what exactly happened. What is the bigger game plan behind it? Because I don't believe for namaz and some food spill over such an incident can happen. What are you trying to do? Why only foreign students were attacked? If they in that campus, there'll be local Muslim students also. Where foreigners having a separate namaz and locals having a separate namaz. So why only foreigners were attacked? Why locals were not attacked? Also, is namaz such an alien to our culture? No. Do we know what is namaz? Yes. Do we know what Ramzan is going on? Yes. So why these bunch of foreign students were attacked? Or is it a hysteria, or is it something which is being created to bring down the name of India? That is a bigger question I have in mind.
Let's get a response from Taira Hassan and Shams Shavish as well. We've almost run out of time. Taira ji, do you think something like this could have happened at an international airport?
No, I don't think so. I mean, this should not be happen. This is what I'm saying. The violence and this kind of things cannot be justified, Vineet. And the thing is this, that it's a matter of, if he's saying that it's a matter of investigation, then the VC has to give the statements after the
But Taira ji, do you also concur with Sumit that, religious practices and beliefs should not inconvenience other people?
Yes, of course. no namaz should be on the roadside, no this type of yatras, kamar yatras or something other, or marriage program on the road. I mean, these should be not allowed. I mean, they are causing inconvenience, and each and every one is equal before the law in our constitution. So I think we must follow the constitution. If somebody is violating the law or our country's law, action must be taken. I mean, my question is how the locals entered in the hostel. Thing is this.
That's what I asked. That's what I said. Would something like this have happened at an airport or a location where, you obviously have security, taking care of any transgression despite what your religion is? Shamshavish?
I would accept what all the other speakers have said, but if I believe that this is because of the non-veg, if I believe that this is because of the namaz, but the VC making such kind of statement is nothing less than a statement that MLA had actually made कि लड़कियों ने ऐसा कपड़े पहना इसलिए उनका ना rape हुआ. So this is nothing but
that's what I said. Victim blaming. That's what I said. Victim blaming.
Kind of a pad that yes, because they have done it. You are a VC. VC plays a very important role. You have to make sure that your entire campus is very safe. You have to make sure that the parents outside your own country, they know that their kids are safe in India, and India is a very safe space. So and these students who come from a different country, they all know that India is a different kind of a land. They have read all the laws and everything. They all also know that what kind of laws they have to follow. That I strongly believe that something else has actually happened. It's not because of the namaz. It is something else. And these such kinds of these outsiders should never be allowed in the campus.
Ali, do you think that the students who are in fact a part of this ecosystem where foreign students will also be visible doing their own cultural things should be sensitized, not for the sake of something as micro as what they feel about a particular religion, but something more large, the country's image, that is?
Right, Vineet, you rightly said, it's a matter of the country's image. So the hooligans who came to fight, who came to attack with violence on the foreign students, they should have kept in mind it's the question of a country's image, irrespective whether they were provocated or not, or whatever the provocation could have been or not, I don't know. There's no inquiry that's taken place as yet, so we don't know. But they should have been conscious of the fact that these are foreign students and one should not. Now, being an Indian Muslim, no one has ever bothered me to practice my religious never. I mean, I've heard stories that such things happen, and if I have to believe it, I'll only believe what I have personally experienced, right? I will not go on hearsay, but I have never experienced anyone trying to intrude or interrupt my religious practice, because I've always believed that religion is a very, very personal and a very, very private matter. If you confine to it, and I'm a practicing Muslim, I'm a very proud Indian. So I've never felt any different than anyone else ever in my life. So the very fact is, these hooligans who came to attack these foreigners, my father has been a Vice-Chancellor of Central University of the country. I've seen foreign students over there. I've seen foreign students in Pune University when I was in Ferguson College. They've always been respected and always been looked after. We should rather portray an image that we look after foreign students, like the way you rightly brought out. When an Indian gets harmed in US, we get perturbed about it, and rightly so. Any country would get perturbed. If we send a child somewhere, we will get perturbed that it's the responsibility of that country, of that place. The Gujarat government has stepped into it. Gujarat government has taken cognizance of it. Gujarat government is punishing the perpetrators.
The MEA has taken cognizance of it. The MEA as well has taken. Yeah, quickly, Sumit, we've run out of time. Last thoughts from you, and then we wrap up.
You see, violence in any form is 101% not acceptable by any chance, any means. Ye pehli baat. Second thing is, why was a group of foreign students only attacked? That is my question. I don't have answer to it. Point number 3. If I'm in now there was a Kazakh student who was unfortunately injured and being treated. Imagine if I'm studying in Tajikistan. If I go and I say it's a Mangalwar and I want to do a Hanuman Chalisa in the middle of a Tajik university, how I'll be treated, what will be my outcome, and do these people also will be very sensitive to their culture, but when they come here, are they equally sensitive to our culture? That's the question I want to leave for the people to discuss and contemplate.
Let me tell you here that they were not in the center, they were in a corner in their own hostel, and that too in a corner, not in the center of
was that corner designated by the VC for the namaz, or you can choose any corner you want? Can I do the same in Tajikistan? I go and pick up a corner, मैं 6 by 6 का यहाँ हनुमान चालीसा करता हूँ. Will I be allowed in Tajikistan or Uzbekistan?
It might not be, but
no,
the
I'm
point
saying
is that
violence cannot be justified.
Yes, that's the whole point.
Cannot be justified.
Okay, all right, we've run out of time. All right, we've run out of time. Would like to thank all my guests for being a part of this conversation. Obviously, this is a very sensitive issue. We will see its logical and just conclusion perhaps in a few days.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.